Hi everybody, good morning. Today's What Sold video is going to cover the items that sold for us between May 8th and May 14th of 2025. We're going to start with Mercari because we actually made some sales this week, which was awesome. We sold these leggings that were from Torrid, that were just some ones of mine. They sold really cheap on an offer from buyer. We did have kind of like a little incident where after we had pulled the leggings off of all of the other platforms, the buyer decided they wanted to cancel this order. And unfortunately, I did have to decide to decline that because we already had the item ready to ship out and we had taken it off of the other platforms. And to me, that's just not fair to not only our business, but because of the time that was spent taking the item down and pulling it and packing it up, but also to all of the buyers that had this in their watch list or in their like section of Poshmark, etc. It's just not fair because then this item just gets deleted off of the entire platform, and if it does get renewed, they don't get notification of that, and it's like an entirely new item to that platform if it were to get relisted, and so it would lose all of the eyes and watchers and whatever that were on it. So I just decided to go ahead and continue with shipping it. So it didn't sell for much, but at least it did sell. Next was this older bra that we had on Mercari, and the buyer was really sweet and she wanted to make sure she'd get it before this Friday. And so she bought it, I think last Thursday or Friday, and we shipped it out same day for her. This was something that had free shipping at the time. So I do think it's kind of interesting, that when eBay, if you have something with free shipping on eBay, it will show the shipping. Or if it's not, like regardless, it'll show shipping coming off of this so you can see how much you made. And so even if it's free shipping and you had to pay, let's say, $5 for a label, it will take that off here and it'll say shipping minus $5 for the label. So I do like that aspect of eBay because this, I couldn't see how much we had spent on shipping. I know it wasn't much because I went downstairs when my husband was packing it up and he was like, "This has to be really old because this doesn't have a shipping label attached to it." And I said, "Yeah, that's when we had everything for free." Um, but so anyway, but I just went ahead and estimated when I did my numbers that we spent 620 on shipping because I'm sure it wasn't that much. It was super lightweight and it shipped ground advantage, but I just went ahead and did that. I'd rather overestimate than underestimate. And this was like so exciting. So this sold on Mother's Day. This was one of the dolls from my collection. I know I mentioned it a lot, but we moved into my childhood home back in 2018. My husband and I did. And so we just inherited everything that was in here. And it was exactly like it was when I used to live here as a kid. And so my it wasn't my bedroom, but it was like a playroom, I guess you could say. Had a small closet, and on top were all of my old Barbies and Bratz dolls and things like that. And so this was one of them. And one day we just went through all of them to see if any of them had value, and we listed those. I did have her listed for she might have been listed for the 150. I can't remember. This might have been an offer. I really don't remember. I just remember we were sitting at my mother-in-law's house, or my in-laws' house for Mother's Day, and I got the notification that I think she did maybe send an offer on this, and I was like, okay, sure. Maybe she was like 175 or something, but I was just so excited. And luckily Posh or Mercari has a super low seller fee, which is awesome. So we profited, if you take out the $4 cost of goods, 129.62. So our total profit on Mercari for this week was $140.18. That's crazy for Mercari, right? Now we're going to go to eBay. On eBay, we sold another Vermont Country Store bed jacket. I think that might be my last one. It sold for 1960. And this is what I was saying. I really appreciate how eBay includes all of this information. You'll also see it says that it sold via promoted listing. We did have this promoted and with a 30% discount, which is the discount that I was running on eBay from like Thursday or Friday until Monday. So over the Mother's Day weekend. I'm attributing that to a lot of our sales. And that is what's kind of interesting is even though we did sell a lot on eBay, the total sales price wasn't like ridiculously high, just because a lot of these were lower priced items. But this did sell for 1960, and you see here this is how much we paid in selling fees for our shipping label, which they did pay for. The customer did, and then we paid 51 cents to have it promoted. I definitely feel like if the promoted listings seem to help, they don't cost that much. I only promote things 2 to 3% per item, and you only have to pay it if it sells. Plus, some of the items, for some reason, I still haven't figured it out. The promoted listing does not, like the promoted fee does not get charged, even if the item's promoted and it sells. So I don't know how that works. I don't know if that has something to do with how the buyer like searched for the item or how they purchased it. I'm not sure. But yes, so this sold. Then the 90s denim jumper dress that we had sold for 21. Something else that was part of that 30% sale. I would tell you, it was very frustrating this past week having that 30% sale and then getting people sending me offers for like an additional 20, 30, 40, 50% off. So this person didn't do it, but just as an example, I think this was originally like, I don't know, like $30 or $28, and then it would be on sale for 21. So it was like 30% off. So that seems like a pretty decent discount. And people would offer me like $8 or $5. And so I actually had a little tidbit saved on my phone that was like, "Hi, I'm so sorry that I'll have to decline this offer. Unfortunately, this is part of our 30% off Mother's Day sale, so we will not be accepting any lower offers at this time. But thank you." And then I would send that, and then sometimes people would still send me an offer that was like $1 higher than I was like, okay, I can't. But anyway, at least this sale did lead to some good inventory getting out. This was what I was talking about. So this was something older. My husband had listed. It was only on eBay, and it was some video game set, maybe, I think. Computer game, I don't know. And so see, it had free shipping, but you'll see that the eBay still shows us what we paid for that shipping label. So that's really nice that it just includes all that information. It sold for $24.50 after a $4 cost of goods. We profited $9.62. This was a very low sale, but I had been sitting on it for like, I think 2 years. It's one of my oldest items. It was a two-piece Victoria's Secret tote set. I was really surprised that it took so long to sell. It was, I mean, it's a cute tote bag. It's canvas, and then the inside had like an insulated pocket. It would be great for the beach or the pool or just anything. But I don't know. Like I said, it sat for like 2 years. I did eventually take newer pictures of it, and I don't know. So it sold 30% off on, and I think she might have even sent an offer. I can't remember, but it sold for 10.50. It is what it is, right? At least it's out of here. This was the Stitch hoodie my mom found when we were thrifting at Goodwill together, and that sold during the sale for 24.50. This was another item my mom found. I kept screenshotting all of the items that when they would sell of things that she had found, and I'd send it to her and be like, thank you, you found this." This she had bought at the consignment sale during one of their like dollar clearance sales. It's a J. Jill jersey material t-shirt style dress, and it sold for 20. Oh, and this was like after. So this was right after our sale ended. And I saw there were, so like eBay will show you how many like liked items you have or how many like watchers or whatever, and interested buyers, I think they call it. And so I didn't send any offers, of course, obviously during the 30% off sale, but once that sale ended, I clicked select all, and there were like 50 to 60 interested buyers, and I sent like a 20% off because that's what I usually will send on eBay is like 20, is it 15 or 20? I think 15, but I just sent 20 since the 30% off sale had just ended. I sent 20%, and I still got two sales from that. So that was good. I guess people figured, oh, I missed the 30% off sale. Let me just go ahead and get it while she's sending me this 20%. So this sold for 20 doing that, 20% off. And then this sold for 20% off. And it was this Chico's poncho. This was my mom. She said she wore it like once or twice. And it sold for 22.40. And the last item was this men's Eddie Bauer's t-shirt. This was something of my husband's. He probably wore it like once or twice. And they don't have like a very high retail value, I don't even think. But I just wanted to put these on here since they were kind of nice. The consignment store didn't want them, and I figured I'd see if I could get like a buck or two for them. Um, and they sent me an offer for like five or six, and I countered at eight, and they accepted. So we profited $1.56. I mean, it's not much, but I guess it beats it just going to Goodwill and possibly a landfill. So in total on eBay, we profited $78.67. Like I said, that seems really, really low, but I guess it's just because all of the items that did sell, while it was a decent amount, were just lower cost items. And then we're going to move to Poshmark, which was our biggest sales platform of that week. This sold like later last night, so this was one of the last items to sell during that week time. It was a pair of American Eagle mom shorts. I had them listed for like 20, 25. She sent an offer for like 12 or something. I don't know, something. I think it was like 12 because I was like, oh, she's probably trying to get with the $8 shipping to be like 20. I countered at 16 and she accepted. A pair of Under Armour shorts sold for 10. These were something I'd had for quite a while as well, so I was just glad to get rid of them. This was my last Vermont Country Store baby doll two-piece pajama set. I had the two in blue and then this one in pink, and this sold for $45. An Anthropologie dress. I had this originally listed really, really high at 150, and I had a ton of likers on it, but it has sat for like, man, I feel like a long time. Let me see how long that sat. Yeah, so basically it had been here for just like a year now. Oops. Okay. So I had it for like just over a year, and this person sent me an offer for 80, I think, and then I countered. I really didn't want to let it go for super low because I mean, it's Anthropology for one. It's a maxi dress, and it was an very, very good, like excellent condition, and it was a plus size 20W. So I had a lot of factors going for it. When that person sent me the offer for like I think like I said 80 or something, I checked comps, and similar dresses, maxi, Anthropologie, similar sizes, were going for anywhere from 80 to $100. And so I thought, you know what? Okay, that's not a completely unreasonable offer. I probably priced it a little high to begin with. So I thought, you know what? Let me just take it. I'll take the money. I'd rather take this than sit on it for possibly another year. So I accepted, or I sent a counter offer for $90 and she accepted. Um, I hate how much eBay takes in fees because getting $18 taken away from that just seems like a lot, right? $18. But next was this Talbot's scallop. It was kind of a shell print top, and I just listed this like I think a few days before it sold. It sold for $20. That's why I say don't sleep on Talbots. I saw this reseller that I follow on Facebook. She posted this like cute novelty sweater from Talbots that she found at Goodwill, and she said definitely picking this up for like $5 or $6. And someone in the comment section said, "Oh, Talbot sells now." Ha 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 ha. And I thought, yeah, you know what? It actually can sell. Like if you really if I mean, I'm not saying that it's gonna, make you hundreds of dollars every week, but I mean, look, a used top for $20, like I'll take that over nothing, and that sold for the same amount as some of my other items that were even nicer. Speaking of another surprising $20 sale, was this Aeropostale Y2K baby doll style dress, and it was in that kind of like Madras plaid style that was super popular back when I was in high school. This was, I'm pretty sure, mine from high school, and it's over $20. And I sent a picture to my mom, and I was like, "Can you believe this?" And she said, "Where did you find that?" And I said, the garage." And I was actually going to donate all of the stuff I found. I washed it all, and I was going to donate it. And I thought, you know what? I think Y2K is kind of still in like in style, so let me go ahead and just post it and see what I can get for it. $20. Isn't that crazy? Next was a pair of Eddie Bauer Bermuda shorts, and they sold for 10. Not anything great, but they were just some old inventory we had. This was pretty good. These were a pair of Talbots, new with tags, like navy chino style shorts. I got these back in college when I, for some reason, went into a Talbot store. I don't know what I was doing in there, and I never wore them. And they sold for $27. I was happy with that. A pair of Torrid jeans. I am pricing Torrid jeans lower now. I did used to list them for 30 to 35. Now it's more 20 to 25. 25 being if they are like at least an 18 and a newer style like boot cut or straight leg or boyfriend, like more what's popular now. If they are skinny and anything like 16 or lower, size 16 or lower, I usually do about 20. So these were listed at 25, and then I sent out the offer for 20 and they accepted. This was really fun. This was all four of the maxi skirts my mom had given me of hers that were again Talbots. And they were similar sizes, either extra large or 1X. Someone bundled them and accepted an offer of $70. 60, yes. So I took off like $15 and they accepted. That was nice. And the last item was very similar to the to the Torrid leggings. Someone, and I did talk about this a little bit in my What Sold video from last week because it had just sold, was this Pooh Bear. And if you didn't hear the story, it was they kind of did the same thing as those leggings where they sent an offer. I accepted and then I pulled it immediately from all the other sites because I had just listed this and I was like, oh, to my husband, I said, this is why I need to start listing more hard goods. Look how fast this sold. And then she asked to cancel. And I was like, I'm sorry, I can't cancel. I already pulled this and have it ready for shipping. And I did explain that to her. I didn't hear anything back. So hopefully, I mean, she's okay and everything went well and she likes her new Pooh Bear. And on Poshmark, my total profit was $216.50. Incredible. So in total, from that week of May, the second week, we profited $435.35, which is just unbelievable. And between the first and second weeks of May, we've made a total profit of $739.07, which I don't even know the last time that we made that much in 2 weeks, probably back in like Q4. So I know this was a very long what sold video, but we did have a lot of sales. I hope you guys also had really great sales on Mother's Day weekend and the week prior to and after. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Bye.